In this presentation, I share my autoethnographic stories about my everydayness as a piano teacher. All the images, audio, and reflected narratives are my metaphorical fragments of my life stories, of teaching, writing, and researching about what it means to be with young children when exploring music and piano playing together. Emilia improvises so beautifully, and she always asks for more slower songs. When I try to speed up the tempo, she quickly reminds me, no, I want much slower, slow like this. So while we're improvising, we talk about how her favorite tempo is the slow adagio, and how she doesn't like the fast allegro as much. She keeps on smiling as she continues to improvise happily on the treble keys. I love improvising with Emilia, her 10 little fingers moving like the little butterflies fluttering around a flower. They sparkle like the shimmering lights, so pretty like the colorful gemstones. They are treasures. And I'm always very grateful for these moments. Thank you, Emilia, for sharing your musical gemstones with me. In my autoethnographic stories, I use first-person voice to share my learning experiences as a piano teacher, my auto, the conversations and interactions that I have with my students, my ethno, and the ways in which they inform my teaching call for a relational approach to thinking, researching, and writing about piano pedagogy, my graphy. I write about my personal, interpersonal, and intrapersonal experiences of piano teaching and learning with young children by using open-ended interpretive storytelling. To describe the events and situations in our lessons that moved and puzzled me, I am inspired to write a story in a style of small stories and tales that draw attention to meaningful teaching and learning moments and experiences. Like a bricoleur, I creatively mix a variety of art forms of writing with theoretical interpretations to convey life experiences, and I also integrate visual images and audio with storytelling to evoke my pedagogical questions, reflections, and critical moments experienced in our piano lessons. For me, writing about my music making and improvisational with young children enables me to rethink epiphany as epiphony. The suffix phony means sound, and musicians can make important discoveries about the self and others through their acoustic and musical experiences. In my case, writing epiphanies through creative story writing and epiphonies through improvising music with young children, autoethnography has become creative practice of living inquiry as I examine and re-examine what it means to lead a meaningful life of piano teaching and how I can be and become a more reflexive piano teacher. In our piano lessons, we like to improvise. We like to create our own music. Sometimes we find inspirations from creating the sounds of our favorite animals. We play quiet piano like the little butterflies, and loud forte for the big dinosaur or tigers. Our fingers jump and bounce across the piano keys like the short staccatos of the kangaroos, or glide across the piano keys with glittering glissandos. As we think of our favorite animals, we create melodies to evoke the murmuring trees in the forest, or use the pedal to bring shimmery rainbow colors to our piano playing. We also find inspirations from our favorite storybooks. As I begin to read a story, my students joyfully improvise the sound effects on the piano. There are days when we draw our music too. My music sounds like this, my student loves to tell me. Let's play it my way, they always like to remind me. For me, writing my life stories of piano teaching and learning creates openness, curiosities, and possibilities for all the things that my student wish to share with me. The creative process of writing about my life as a piano teacher enables me to live meaningful moments and to think of more joyful ways of inviting my students to participate in their own musical learning. Writing about my everydayness as a piano teacher encourages me to cultivate awareness for what it means to be a piano teacher. It brings me closer to what Ted Teoki described as a presence of the beingness of teaching. Beingness of teaching, the mindful attention to the lived experiences of children, to the lived curriculum of teaching and learning, is an ongoing pedagogical process of discovery. For me, writing stories is pedagogical because engaging in the process of writing and rewriting the self and self in relations with others teaches me about my students as well as about myself as a piano teacher. It invites me to draw my attention to the shared moments with my students. It calls upon me to be mindful of my piano teaching and learning. It encourages me to question, reflect upon, and seek for more artful, creative ways of thinking about music and piano playing. In sharing our autoethnographic life stories about our everydayness with our students, we can evoke nuanced understandings of the complex relationships and connections in teaching and learning. We can embrace teaching as an ever-present living practice, a joyful part of our shared learning journeys with our students. In the spirit of placing musical living inquiry at the heart of children's lived experiences, and in looking forward to further exploration and discussions about the possibilities for autoethnography as pedagogical living inquiry at our upcoming 2023 International Symposium on Autoethnography and Narrative, I would like to conclude my presentation with a story about a magical planet named Kumanon. For Brianna, the music notes remind her of the different planets in our galaxy. Pointing to the middle C, D, and E on our music page, she explains to me. E is for Earth, and there's moon beside it. Middle C is like Saturn with a ring around it. When I ask Brianna why the note D is for the moon, she pauses for a moment and replies, "Moon dance." And so I ask again, Saturn has a ring around it, and I wonder if there's another planet name that starts with letter C. With no hesitation, she immediately cries out, "Oh yes, Kumanon." Kumanon? Wow, what a beautiful name. Can you tell me more about your special planet? As I invite her to describe her planet for me, Brianna happily shares a wondrous magical story about a planet named Kumanon, a very special faraway planet where happy dreams, smiles, and hugs awaits us. In her words, Kumanon is made up of many rainbow colors. There are 200 rings around it, and everybody's favorite streams are on it. The name rhymes with Pokemon, and if you come close, the rings will spread out like the big arms and hug you. Thank you, and I look forward to connecting with everyone in 2023 ISAN in January.